Hi, this is NZD guys. As you all know, this previous week we focused on that after this corrective structure is completed, we're expecting a drop. Now, as you can see, that's exactly what we got. We focused this down and we got exactly that. So this next week, there's a possibility we can start to move up like this, up to around this area. Now, this is how price can move. Let me just decode the structure for you. We might get an up, then correction, up, correction, up to around this area. There's a possibility we might get this kind of structure. Alternatively, if we don't move like this, we can get down move, drop, breaking this previous low before getting this up move that I'm focusing here. That's one way price can move. So if you'd like to trade up, just be careful. We might move up from here, or we might move up from here after breaking this previous low. You have to read structure as it unfolds. So that is what you should be doing. So alternatively, we can get bigger corrective structure like this, similar to this one, and as this comes as well, you'll be able to notice, and then maybe get one more drop, breaking this previous low here like that, and we get one big up like that. So this is how structure will move: corrective structure, drop, corrective structure, drop, and then up move like that. So be careful, we might get a drop, or we might get an up move. So be on the lookout if you need to trade NZD. But as you know, this previous week we shared that after the correction, drop is expected, and that's exactly what we got. So let's just go to the 1 day and see what's happening there on the 1 day. And as you can see, still on the 1 day, price gave this impulse move. We got this. The last week we are around this area, and we focused that after a corrective structure we're expecting a drop. So we are getting some kind of a rejection here. So there's a possibility we might head up like this, or we might just slight corrective structure, drop, and then maybe get an up move, breaking previous high, breaking previous high, and then get a drop again, breaking this previous low like that. That's on the 1 day time frame. It's not as detailed as on the 4 hour. Let's see on the 1 hour how it looks. Now the 1 hour here, so on the 1 hour there's a possibility we might get a corrective structure and then start to move up like that, or it can happen like this: correction, up, like that, breaking this previous high. So just expect that. For now, we can only focus up to around this area here. That's on NZD USD. We have Euro GBP. Now, as you all know, for Euro GBP this previous week, we had price around this area, and we see that we're expecting this drop to complete, and then maybe get one more up, breaking this previous high like that. So we're still looking forward to that, and then later get a drop, breaking this previous low, and then something like this again. That's on the 1 day time frame. Let's just go to the 4 hour and see what's happening there. So on the 4 hour, let's focus on what is happening here. So we got an impulse here, and then we got a wedge here. We're getting a drop, breaking previous low, and then expect this next week, breaking previous high after this drop completes here. So that is what we're expecting. Let's just go to the 1 hour and just see it on a detailed angle. So we got an impulse, and we're getting a wedge here like that, and as you look here, we got an impulse, and we're getting something that looks like a wedge here. So there's a possibility we might break this previous high a little, then get a drop, breaking this previous low, maybe up to around this area, and then up move. And the up move that we'll be getting here will be similar to this movement here. So that is what you can expect on Euro GBP. Let's go back to the 4 hour and see something here. As you look into the bigger view, this structure that we showed you on the 1 day, this is up move, and then there's a wedge. So if we get a corrective structure here, then drop, breaking previous low as a wedge, we can move up and then get one big drop, breaking all the lows here like this. That's on the 4 hour breakdown. So up to around this area. That is all we can share for now on Euro GBP. This is GBP USD. Now for GBP USD, you guys, you remember we focused at this drop. We said that we're expecting a drop, and that's exactly what we got. We then focused at a corrective structure, that we're expecting a corrective structure before completing down. Now as you can see, this correction here has completed its route here, and then now we're starting to get a drop here. And after we got this drop, we had a slight corrective structure here, then price moving one more down, and then we broke this previous low. Now what we can read from what structure is doing here, there's a possibility we can get a corrective structure here, then up, corrective structure, then up like this, and this movement will not break this previous high. So if price decides to follow this route, we can then push down like this, breaking low, and even breaking this low slightly. Just as this drop here has broken this low, we can have something similar here as we read price. So that's one route which price can follow if price decides to continue moving just as we are forecasting here. So then price would head up to this area. If price follows this route, we can then give you an update on what's next based on how price unfolds. But alternatively, what you can look out for this next week is price to give a drop, then corrective structure, then drop, corrective structure, then drop. Now this would be a wedge on its own. We move up, then down correctively, then get another corrective structure, then drop like this. So this would be an impulse, and then this would just be a wedge here, and then we can expect an up move that would break this previous highs, break this previous highs, break this previous highs, and then later we can have one big drop breaking this previous low like this, and this would just be a wedge as well based on this impulse, and then this would be an up drop, and then this would be another up. So this would just be a bigger wedge as well. So based on the structures which we just broke down for you, price can follow those two structures there. So this is on the 4 hour, by the way. Let's just go to the 1 day and just see how structure looks from that point of view. So as you can see, drop that we forecasted, corrective structure, and then just a slight drop. We're getting a rejection candle here, and what you can get here, expect corrective structure like that, then another drop. Just as we said, this would just be a wedge here. So we would get an up move breaking this previous highs like that before dropping. So just as we forecasted a week back, we forecasted that we're expecting price to move like this. We're expecting price to move like this. So this would just be an impulse, and then this would just be one big corrective structure up to around this area here. Then we move up. So all this price is just adding up to complete this bigger structure on the 1 day time frame. So let's just go to the 1 hour and see how things look from there. So based on the 1 hour, we won't be focusing much here since it won't be influencing the bigger view. But as we look at what price is doing here, we can just focus to what is most likely to happen in the short term. We might get price moving like this and price moving like this up to around this area. That's a possibility of what we can get from price like that. So you can expect this movement on GBP USD on the 1 hour. This is NZDJPY now on the 1 day time frame. Now remember, this previous week we did say that after this corrective structure is completed, we're expecting an up move here. Now as you can see, we got a corrective structure complete, and then we got this impulse move here. Now this is on the 1 day, you won't see it clearly. Let's go to the 4 hour and then just show you there what we forecasted. We did focus that we're seeing a corrective structure here, and then we say that after this getting this drop, we're expecting an up move. So you can see we got an up move, and then we're starting to get what looks like a corrective structure again. There's a possibility we might get this corrective structure, then drop, and then move up one more time, because we're expecting price to break this high and break this high. So this is what we forecasted. These are all the movements that we forecasted this previous week. So be on the lookout there, and then let's just share on the 1 hour time frame what is most likely to happen. Now based on what price is doing here, there's a possibility we might get a corrective structure, then drop like that, then up move. Still on the 1 hour, we're still getting the same structure here. So this is NZDJPY. This is USD CHF. Now for USD CHF, you guys, you all know that we forecasted from this point that expect one more drop breaking this previous low, and then we start to move up. Now this is on the 1 day time frame, so you probably won't see this clearly. Let's just go to the 4 hour and just show you there. We focused that we were expecting a drop breaking this previous low, taking down this previous low slightly, and then we start to move up, and then we got this impulse move just as we forecasted, and then we got price moving like this. We say that expect an impulse move, a movement up from now. So now you can see that this corrective structure wasn't completed. We got a down, we got an up, we got a down, and then price this was a fake out. We got a fake out here, and then we're starting to pull back in. So this is what you can get. You can get price moving like this, then drop like this, and then maybe moving up from here like that. So let's just move back to the 1 hour and then just see what's happening there, so that we're able to share what is likely to happen. So here, this is how it looks. You see, it looks like a rejection candle. So price moved up and then it moved back in again. So here, we're most likely to get this corrective structure. Impulse, corrective structure. So this is just a corrective structure. We're most likely to get a corrective structure like this, down, and then corrective structure, and then down like this again, and then start to move up, because this movement is expected. Either it takes place from here or it takes place from here. We're expecting a movement, and there's a movement that started from this position here. Started from this position, and we forecasted it, and it's still unfolding as we forecasted. So be on the lookout there. Let's just go to the 4 hour and just see what's happening there. You see, we can get this drop, this, and then drop. So this would just be an impulse move, and then this would just be one big corrective structure before heading up, before giving the bigger up move here on USD CHF. This is Euro CAD. Now for Euro CAD, guys, you can see that we focused on this drop this previous weeks, and then we got that drop. Now we're starting to get price pull back in. So here what we can do, we can get a corrective structure here, then up, corrective structure, then up, and then get a drop like this, breaking this previous low, breaking this previous low like that. So this would just be one big impulse, and this would just be our big corrective structure. So from here we can update you as time approaches. Now this is on the 1 day time frame. Let's go to the 4 hour and see what is happening there. So if you look into this structure, we got this up move, slight corrective structure here, up. So we can either get another slight corrective structure here, then up, and then one drop, breaking low, and breaking low, just as we had forecasted on the 1 day time frame. So there's a structure that we're still getting. This low is expected to be broken slightly, just as you can see this movement breaking this previous low. So we can get a slight break here again, and then we can focus to what's happening here in the next week. So let's go to the 1 hour and see what is happening there. So if you're a day trader and you need to get some trades here, we got an impulse, corrections, drop, up, a slight correction, up, drop, a slight correction, up, drop. So if you're a day trader here and you want, just wait for an impulse move and then get a corrective structure. Do not enter here or do not look for any trades. You can now look for an impulse move after a corrective structure appears. It can happen here and then drop, or it can happen here, or it can even shoot down like this, happen here, and then wait for it to go a little deeper, then drop with it. Now this is what we can share here with you on Euro CAD. This is GBP JPY. Now for GBP JPY, this is on the 1 day time frame. So look here, guys, we got an impulse move, shoot up, and then we got another drop here, correction, drop, correction, and then we're expecting a drop here. Expect a drop here, and then we can move up like this. So this is what we're expecting based on wave analysis. So just that's on the 1 day time frame. You probably won't see things clearly, so let's just shift lower to the 4 hour so that we can see details here. We got this impulse move, we got a corrective structure, we're getting up, maybe we can expect a drop here, then a correction here, then drop, and then up like this, slightly breaking this previous high, something similar to this here, and then from here we can get a drop, expect a drop here. This up move, it might not be big, it might just be something like this, then up just to slightly break this previous high and then get a drop. And this drop is expected to break all these lows, break this low, break this low here, and it will be similar to this. That's on GBP JPY. Let's just go to the 1 hour and see how things look from there. On the 1 hour, impulse, actually we got an impulse from here, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. So from here, expect price to push down like this and then get a corrective structure. Now this one you can interact with the market drop here like this, drop here. So this is one you can look for a drop, but the drop won't go deeper, it will just be a slight drop to break this previous lows and then get an up move. You can either go with this up move if you like. That's on GBP JPY. Now let's focus gold. Some of you have been looking for focused on gold. Now since we haven't been covering gold on the focus, let's just start it from here. We got an impulse move, correction, impulse, correction, impulse, and then we got an up move, and we started to move, drop, and then from here we got a pivot to the upside. So how things look, we got an impulse here, and then we got price moving like this. So here, from how structure looks, we continued up, even though structure was showing that we might have a drop here. So there was an extension to the upside here, and then we're getting a drop here, and then we're getting a wedge here. So from here, expect an up move to break this previous high, then drop. Now let's go to the 4 hour so that you just see it clearly. so that you just see clearly. This is on the 4-hour. We got an impulse move, we got a corrective structure, drop, wedge, spike, drop, correction, drop. So from here we got an impulse move, so expect either a corrective structure to the upside. Expect this previous high to be broken, this previous high to be broken, and this previous high to be broken, and up to around this area, and then expect a drop, breaking all these previous lows. Now some of you that have been saying we should focus gold, that's gold for you. We're expecting an up to the to break this previous highs, and then expect a drop. Now this high we cannot know for sure if it will just slightly break or maybe end up to around this area, but it's not expected to break this previous high here. Around this zone, this is where it's expected to end, and then we get a drop to the downside. Now that's gold for you. Let's see on the 1 hour and see what's happening there. We won't be covering the 1 hour because it's not much clear. Just what we showed on the 4 hour there is enough.